Most of us have been spending a lot more time away from the people we usually see, haven't we? It's got me thinking, do we really need human beings at all? Could we replace human beings with something else? I wonder what we can think of. Let me introduce you to someone who might fit the bill. This is our cat, Maisie. We've had her for a long while and we've really loved her. We still do. She's getting a bit old now, but she's been a good companion to us. The one thing is, she's not very talkative. Now she's getting older, she's noisier than she's ever been because she's probably a bit deaf. She's more squawkative than talkative, but the conversation dries up after a while, so maybe she won't be able to replace human beings in my life. Thanks, Maisie. Go and have a sleep. What else could there be that might help us to replace human beings? What about a computer? My computer does all sorts of cool things. It's an impressive piece of engineering. And when you think about it, maybe computers could replace human beings. They're very clever after all. You can connect with other people. You can even have Zoom calls with other people through computers. They can do calculations better than you and I can, just in their heads. You can say things like, "Hey Google, what's 421 times 622?
421 by 622 is 261,862.
That's probably even faster than I could have done it. If we're really going to do a proper comparison though, we need to look inside and see what makes computers tick. Let's see what they're made of and then we'll see what we're made of. The way to do that is to get inside. So here's my scientific tool for getting inside the computer. Stand back. Oh, interesting. Messy, but interesting. So that's what's inside a computer. What's inside you and me? What are you made of? Let's have a look. I'm going to put on my protective glasses because we'll need that if we're going to go inside. Let's begin our scientific investigation. Open wide, say R, we're going in.
Here's what's inside a MacBook. It was developed, designed and built by a team of engineers. It didn't just happen by chance. Here's what's inside the average human. Enough carbon to fill 9,000 pencils. Enough sodium for 43 teaspoons of salt. Over 36 litres of water. The same amount of potassium in 332 bananas. Iron in a 3-inch nail. And phosphorus in 3.9 million match heads. But is that really it? Are you just a fleshy bag full of chemicals? That's what makes us up. But that's not who we are. You are incredible, extraordinary. If your brain was a computer, it would be thousands of times faster than the most powerful supercomputer. If the human eye was a digital camera, it would have over 500 megapixels, the same as over 25 of these cameras. Each one of us is unique. We have dreams, goals, and aspirations. We have emotions. We have a sense of purpose and a sense of right and wrong. You are intricately made. Every part of your body has the hallmarks of being designed. Is it really possible that we are just chance? Or is there a designer? Is there a creator? God created human beings in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them.
So, what you're made of is a really interesting question. But there are more important questions. In fact, there are two more important questions that we could ask ourselves. The first question is, who are you made by? Now, I love science. I used to be a science teacher, but I know that although science can help us to explore the world, and it's great at answering some of the how questions, it's not always so good at answering some of the other important questions about who and why and what. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my life for? So, who are you made by? That's a really important question. And the passage we heard a few moments ago tells us the answer. You and I are lovingly designed by our Creator. God created human beings. All of us, everyone. We have a purpose because we're made by a great God. But there's a second thing we see, and that second thing is, what are you made for? And that's where the passage gets really interesting. It says, God created human beings in his image. What does that mean? Well, it's about being a kind of reflection. We were made to be a kind of reflection of God's goodness, his greatness and his love to everyone around us. That's a super important job for all of us to have. And it is a job that all of us were given. That makes us important. It makes us of equal value to everybody else because we're all made in that way. Doesn't matter what colour our skin is, doesn't matter whether we're a girl or a boy, doesn't matter whether we're very old or so young we're still in our mummy's tummy. Doesn't matter whether our brains work the same as everyone else's or our limbs work as well as other people's. If you're a human being, you are created by God in his image. But of course we don't always reflect his image very well. We have made a mess of the world because we don't do that. And that's where we see another sign of how precious and special human beings are, because God the Father sent his Son into the world to become a human being. That's Jesus. And in his life we see the perfect reflection of what God is like. He shows us what a real human being looks like, and yet he gave up his life. He died in our place so that we could be forgiven for not being the reflections we should be and be set free to start living that way. Through Jesus, we can get to know God as our Father, and Jesus taught his disciples, his followers, that they could ask and God would show he cared. They could seek and he would be there. They could knock and the door would be opened up to them. Let's sing about that just now.